Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Guinness and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is his ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of that leash folded in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give the correction. And the only correction that we give here at school is a little tug and let go on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Guinness has been fitted with his very own training collar that's going to come home with him, and you'll be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now he is sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that they're going to demonstrate for you is heeling.
Guinness, heel.
The command is Guinness heel. And Guinness at this point has a job to do, and that is to stay even with your left leg. And each time that you stop your feet, he's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. This command is important because one of the biggest complaints that I get from people is that I can't walk my dog, he pulls me. So this is an exercise that is specifically designed for making your dog walking a pleasure and that he's not dragging you down the street. His shoulders should remain even with your left leg, and each time that you stop, he should sit automatically to wait for his next command. So keep an eye on Fred's left arm, because if Guinness starts to pull, he'll pull back with the training collar with that little tug and let go. The next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you that is an important exercise is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command. Fred uses the open flat of his palm, and because it is a stationary exercise, we do not use the dog's name. It is a one-word command to stay. The long sit stay you can practice right in your living room. It's 1 minute, working up to 3 minutes. When Fred returns back to his dog, for an additional distraction, he will walk all the way around him and end up back where they started at heel position, and Guinness remains seated until he gets his next command. And if you notice, everything is focused on self-control, maturity, focus, slow in his roll, and you can tell that he enjoys the training process. The tail is up and wagging. And if you want to spend quality time with your dog, practice your obedience commands. It tires him both physically and mentally because he's having to think. Fred's going to leave him in another stay. And when you're practicing at home, practice indoors as well as outdoors. The long sit stay is designed to help again improve his focus and self-control. This time, instead of returning back to him, Fred is going to call him. The command is Guinness come, and he comes and sits right in front of Fred facing his knees. That eliminates him coming and mauling you. And then he goes back to heel position and back sitting, and Fred leaves him again in a stay. You use his name, you just lighten your tone a little bit. Fred calls him in, and he comes right in front and sits facing Fred's knees. And then he returns back around to heel position and back sitting. Very, very good. Now Fred's heeling him out of this exercise, and we're going to set up to show you your down commands. And we practice these exercises with Guinness in the puppy playroom. Everywhere he goes, everything should be controlled. Sitting and waiting at the doorways. Always using your commands when you communicate with him. Now Fred is going to take his open flat of his left palm straight down toward the ground and the one-word command to down. This is your down from a heel position. Fred leaves him in a stay. Remember, always tell the dog what you want him to do. Your long down stay when you're practicing at home is for 3 to 5 minutes. You can extend your time, your distance when Fred returns back to him. Again, just like he did on the sit stay, he will walk all the way around him, returning back to heel, and at this point, Guinness expects to get another command. and they take off healing again. And you can put this short video on, practice along with it. You're going to see that it's almost as good as 20 minutes of ball throwing. Fred's going to again use his left open palm straight down toward the ground on the one-word command to down. Leaves him in a stay. This time, instead of returning back to his dog, Fred will call him.
Come, good boy.
There he goes. Good job. He sits right in front, and then he goes back to heel, and everything starts and stops with the dog at your left, shoulders even with your left leg. And now they're going to set up for your down from a distance. This is a little bit harder command because you're not right next to the dog as an enforcer. So always have your dog seated before you attempt to put him into a down. Fred leaves him in a sit-stay. Walks out to the end of his training leash and then uses his right hand this time to give the command. Took him a second. He wasn't really sure what she was going to do. And maybe we could demonstrate that down from a distance one more time, Fred. But if you notice that each time before Fred changes up what he's doing, he tells the dog what to expect. Heel or down or sit, stay. He leaves him in a sit, stay. I think he's distracted. There's bugs out here today. That's your down from a distance. Now this dog has come a long, long way. That was his heel, his automatic sit, his stay, his down from a distance, and his come. We've also worked on house manners and house behavior, skills with people, all of those things. He's been out on field trips. So we really are proud of how far he's come while he's been here. We want to help you keep it going at home. Please keep us informed as to how he's doing, and don't hesitate to call with any questions. Thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.